Test will be next class. Now, I'm going to tell you some of the problems I might just say, okay, finish this one for homework. That's our game plan for today. So we'll try to get through as many as possible. We may not get through all, but I'm going to give you enough information so that you can work on whatever's left at home. So that's our game plan. Anybody have any questions about what we're going to be doing today? So we're going to need as much time as possible today. Also, I will be updating grades as well. Okay, so we're going to begin at this point. We have just about... Yes, we started... Here's where everybody should be. Look for problem 7A. That's where we're continuing. Because we finished up to number 6. Now, number 6 looked like this. For about 1 minute. About 1 minute. I'm going to keep this up there because we did start this last time. Okay, this was our very last problem. Yeah, you have to multiply the mid-segment. Here is your mid-segment. Here and here. Those are your mid-segments. Those are your mid-segments, which is usually the one within the triangle. You have to multiply the mid-segment by 2. In order to get your answer. So if you have a mid-segment, multiply by 2. That's how you get the parallel edge. Now, if you have a whole number for the parallel edge, divide by 2. That's how you're going to get your mid-segment. So it all depends on what's given to you. Now, what I tell everybody, use this 2 times. Use the 2 times mid-segment equals parallel edge. Always use this. Because worst case scenario, because you know the mid-segment's going to be inside that triangle. And the parallel edge is going to be the one that's on the outside. If you use this formula, you will get it right. But you need to identify, because some of us are still struggling with identifying who's the mid-segment, who's the parallel edge. Remember, the edge is going to be on the outside. So that's the edges, that's what's on the outside. Mid-segment should be inside, in the middle. But do not forget this times 2, because on a quiz, a lot of us forgot that times 2, and then that's where we led to a mistake. I know some of you didn't, some of you did. Yes. Okay, we're going to get to that problem. We're going to get to that problem next.
Okay.
Yep. Other questions on this problem? Yeah. Okay, that's just the matching. We went over the matching. We went over that one last time. I'd worry about the bottom 3 the most. Angle bisector, mid-segment, perpendicular bisector. That's just matching. In fact, let me use... I'm leaving it for 30 seconds. That's about it. There's your angle bisector. Okay, median. It's going to go here. In fact, let me clear the ink. Perpendicular bisector is this one. Mid-segment is the one all the way on the top. And then the altitude is the one all the way on the bottom. But I'd only worry about these three. Those are the three I worry about the most. That's why I start them. Questions? Okay, Brooklyn, you got them?
Mm-hmm. I've been having results.
All right, cool. Okay, we're going to go on now. So now we're going to be to problem 7A. That's where we're picking up. And we talked about it briefly towards the end of Stinger yesterday. And again, because remember with Stinger, some of you were working on this, and I was very happy. Again, the most important part, identification. Identify that mid-segment. Identify that parallel edge. And then you have to do the 2 times your mid-segment. Again, some of us forgot to do that 2 times, and as a result, a mistake took place.
Isn't it 10 plus 6?
10 what?
10x.
Yes, you have to include the x. So that's right, 2 times 5x, 10x. 10x plus 6, not 3, but 6. You have to multiply the 2 by both terms. Some of us were still forgetting that. 15x minus 29. There's your setup.
Minus 10.
You can do that. So Brooklyn said we need to minus 10 on both sides. She's right. Minus 10x, I should say. Minus 10x. So we're left with 5x minus 29. Okay, then, yeah, because you already moved the variable. Don't move that variable again. So whichever side you move the variable, you're going to take the constant and move it to the other side. Okay, so it's hang tight. You're right. So, but first, what do we have to do? 6 plus 29 is?
35.
Okay, because I know some of us know, but some of us are still. And then we have to divide everything by?
5.
Divide everything by 5. But that's only after you have move your terms. Keep your variables on one side, not variables on the other. We divide 35 by 5. And then we get, so then what do we get for that x value?
We get 7.
X is 7. Oops. Seven is x, or x is 7. Are we finished though?
No, we get the substitute.
You have to substitute because now which expression is dh? Is that the one inside or outside? Where's dh? Which one is d? It's the outside, so which one are we using? You have to use the 15x minus 29. You got to substitute. So it's really 15. Now, do we just leave it alone? What do we do? 15 times 7. Minus 29. Actually. I'm just going to 15. So 15 times 7 minus 29. What number was it again? 76. That's your final answer. Uh, 76 is going to be your final answer. And if it was right, you would then know that this one would be 38. Mid-segment would be 38. And you can check it. It's 5 times 7, 35, plus 3, 38. And then 15 times 7, 105 minus 29, 76. Questions on this problem? Great, you got that one? Where's your pencil? Pencil. I'll get you one. All right. Okay, the next two are going to be just, I'm going to give you all a couple minutes to try the next two. The next two, it's just like what we did here. It's going to be 2 times your mid-segment. What's our mid-segment here? 3x minus 1, which equals, what's our parallel edge? 34. That's for 7b. And then for 7c, well, we talked about the setup briefly yesterday. It's 2 times the x plus 9. Equals 4x minus 27. Now, in both cases, what's our first step in both cases? What's our first step in both cases here? We need to distribute what do we have to distribute? Distribute that too. 6x minus 2 is equal to what number? Good. All right, so I want everybody to try that from there, but again, don't say it yet. You should get a positive, well, X should be positive altogether. Shh. I'll check it out, but there's your setup. And then similarly on the bottom.
The problem 7 is not going to be a whole number, right? Or it is.
They should be. 7b, I believe 7c should be a whole number. Wait, it's 7.
For the second problem.
Oh, it might not be a whole number. No, it isn't.
There's a whole number.
Wait, for 7c?
It's not.
Well, number B is. C might not be. C is going to be a decimal. Because 2x, yeah, you're going to get, yeah. All right, we'll check to make sure, but you will get a decimal for 7c. So I want you all to try that. Again, don't forget, do your distribution first. Because I promise you, you will see a test question. Just like one of these. So there's your setup for both of them. So I want you all to finish 7B and 7C, and then I'll check your work. So that's what a lot of today's going to be. Show you, you try, you go from there. Because remember, on the test, I can't do the test props for you. Yep. And then you got your outside good, and then substitute to get your. Okay, where are we, Chris? Okay, so we multiply 2 times x.
You're just
What's 2
at,
times
like,
3x?
you're just
So 6x. So 6x minus. So I'll be right there. Hold on. Equals. Okay. Yeah, because we can't combine those guys. Yeah.
So like, if it's a decimal, do we still add it like?
Yeah, you still have to substitute like it's all. Yep, you still, if you get a decimal, you still need to substitute and do it like normal. And let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, AB. Yep, that's good. All right. Good. All right, good work there. Now, if I tell you did both problems right and you want to go look at the next one, go ahead. Be my guest. Remember, on the test, you're going to be the one doing the work. If you're stuck or you're not sure what to do, you say something. You're like, hey, talk to me. Okay, it's just 6, okay? No, don't include the x, okay? It's just 6.
This right.
Those are all good. So you got the first one right. Where are we, my lady? All right, remember, it's 2 times 3x. And 2 times 1. So rather than 3x minus 1, it should be, what's 2 times 3?
6.
So 6 what? Minus, what's 1 times 2? So 6x minus 2 equals 34. All right, Grace, what are we up to? Okay, so then, Doc, what's our next step? Okay, think about that. If you take away 6, you have the next one over here. So don't do minus 6. So then, which term must you move? Well, if you do that, then you get nothing. So it's one more term you have. No, don't divide yet. So keep the equals 34. You got a plus 2 on both sides, so it's on the other side 34 plus 2. Okay, oh, all right, that one I'm going to talk about. I think there was somewhere across it. Okay, that one I'm going to talk about. All right. Okay, real quick, I just realized. Okay, I'm going to talk about the next few momentarily. All right, so for this problem, add 2 to both sides. There's 6x equals 36. So x equals 6. And then plug that 6 into 3 times 6 plus 1. Remember, it's 3x plus 1. And actually, I think we kind of talked about it a little bit. Remember, AB was a 3x plus 1. X was 6. Oh, that should be a minus 1. I'm sorry. My fault. My fault, folks. 36. 3 times 6 minus 1. You should get 18 minus 1, which is 17. All right, questions on 7B. Okay, 7C. What do we do? Who can tell us what do we do here? Who's moving? Okay. You will get a decimal. So who are we moving first? Who moves first? Okay, so what do we do? Do we just say,
Minus 2x.
and I like the minus 2x because then you know that your x will stay positive. Then you have 18 equals, what's 4x minus 2x? What's 4x minus 2x is? And then, what's our next step? Rob?
Plus 27.
Plus 27. Okay, because remember, next class, you take that test, you need to be solid with these steps. So then we have 45. And again, you could get decimals, but you might not, but always check your work. So then we divide by 45 divided by, you should get, and yes, you will get a decimal. 22.5 is x. $22.5, 22.5. And then here's how you're going to check. PQ, remember, you got to add 22.5 to the 9. So what do we get for PQ? Huh? Add. Well, here, you don't have to multiply anything. Depends on the problem. No, here you just add. If you don't see a number next to that x, all you're doing is just adding 22.5. So in this case, you add. If it was 9x, then you multiply. But this is just x plus 9. So what is x plus 9? Okay, what? All right, talk to me. Which one are we talking about? Yeah, that's a whole different problem. Yes, so PQ.
32.5.
Check that adding.
30.
It's something 0.5. Is it 32.5 or what's? Check that adding.
30.
31.5. That's what it is. Okay, you got to be careful how you write that number. And then at the bottom, you multiply 4 times 22.5. And then minus 27. I know it's a little messy, but... Or the quickest way would take your 31.5, multiply it by 2. 60 what? Say it louder, Nelson. You were right, it is 63. Again, I want to make sure we all know these steps because you're going to be taking this test in a few days. We don't know them steps. It's going to be a long day. Some of you will be a real long day. And I know you're better than this. All right, questions on this problem? All right. Okay, the next one I kind of want to talk about, it's a little different than most of the other problems we've done. But it's going to be... All right. With the perpendicular bisector. This one's like a mirror. This line goes right down the middle. And what happened was I gave you some information. AD, remember, A to D is this distance down here, which is 6. And I also gave you A to C, which was 10. Okay, let me put the 6 underneath. But think about this like a mirror. Because basically, this is a mirror. Whatever you see here, it's going to be the same as what you see over here. But there will be some other things we have to talk about with our perpendicular bisector. Well, first off, let's talk about segment BC. This is AC. What do we know about AC and BC? They're congruent. So they're congruent. Remember, AC and BC are congruent. So AC was how long? So then BC must be. So AC, BC are congruent. That means BC is going to be 10. You got to be able to match your sides. Which one? We're going to talk about that. Okay, angle B matches up to which angle on the other side of the mirror? Huh? No, not D. D's right here. That's not going to match up. Think about a mirror. Okay, so
It's gonna be 50.
B is already 50.
6. Could you add them?
All right, let's one at a time. One at a time. We need to stop. We're looking for an angle. So for number 2, we're looking for part B. We're looking for an angle. Where is angle A? Where is angle A? All right, so angle A should be, that's going to be 50 because it mirrors angle B. Angle A is going to be 50. That's why on a test, if you want to bring some highlighters along, because that's going to help you determine what's what, that might be a better idea. All right, now let's talk about, or colored pencils. Next part, DB. But who does DP reflect? DB reflects who? AD. What? How long was AD? So then DB must be. Because AD, think about it like a mirror. It's going to, AD and DB are going to be congruent. Now, this next one, this is where, again, I'm going to tell you all, colored pencils might be a good idea. Angle B, DC. Notice, here's B, D, C. Anybody have an idea on what angle this closest resembles? There's one of three possible options. Not 180, too high. That'd be the entire. That's going to be a 90-degree angle. That's going to be a 90-degree angle. Anytime you have that perpendicular bisector, that's a definition. Perpendicular bisector tells me these two lines intersect at a 90-degree angle. That's from, well, you got 90-degree angles. That's a 90, 90. So this angle is going to be 90 degrees. So now you have a 50 and a 90. Now, the last angle we need to find out is this top angle over here. But you know something. Here's what you know. Let me redo that. I'm going to show you one other thing that might be useful for you. So let's say C, D, D. This angle was 50. This angle was 90. What do we know the sum of your three angles must add up to be?
180.
So what could we do to get this last little bit?
Subtract 90 and 50 to 180.
So it's 180 minus 90 minus 50. $40. This angle's going to be 40 up here. You're going to get a problem. It's going to be broken down into parts. Now, if you did it the diagram way, I would accept it too, but you're going to have to tell me. But that's how you get those angles. Again, it's all, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. So there we go. This angle right here, when those two lines are perpendicular, that's a 90-degree angle. That's always, always, always. So when you get to the test, I would automatically put 90 degrees at that intersection. So like that intersection where the lines intersect, they meet like right there, that I'd always put 90 degrees. Because that will help you. Because you're going to get the angle here. You're going to get the 90. Then you know, okay, my last angle, I just have to do 180 minus 90 minus 50. I'll make that smaller. Nope, that's not what I want to do. That's how you get that last angle, 40. Questions? Anybody final questions on number 8? Okay. Did we all get that down? Remember, you're gonna get an exact question like this on your test. Okay. You got them all? All right. Next two problems, cross them out. We're not doing them. 9A, and I think it's the other 9A. Cross them out. We're not doing them. Cross them out. So the next two slides,
Both 9A's?
yeah, both 9A's. Don't even worry about them. All right. The next thing we're gonna do.
That is like just like the one.
Yeah, the two 9A's. Looks like this.
No, I'm saying that the 9 is just like the one that would reflect the angle. So
Well, sort of. Yeah. It's again going to be similar. It's like a mirror. You're not going to have to worry about that one on your test. You might see that in the future. So both 9A's, get rid of them for now. Might see them again down the road. All right. The next couple. We're going to be dealing with problems more like these. Again, here's your mirror. In fact, the next three are going to be the exact same. Mirror. Give you all a few minutes to try them. What's our setup for 10A and 10B? Well, what's our setup for 10A? Let's start with 10A. What'll be our setup for this problem? 7x plus 5 equals 3x plus 21. This is your setup. What about 10B? What's our setup? Okay. There you go. There's your setup. I want you all to try at least these next two. I'll give you all a few minutes. Try the next two. If you want, if you get these two done, if you want to try the problem that's on the following slide, exact same idea, you can do that. So I'll give you a few minutes to try these. Let's find out. So 9 equals 4x minus 17. But now what do we have to do? What's our next step?
You add 9, 17.
9 plus 17, you have to add them.
Then you do 26 divided by 4.
It's 26. Is that you, milady? Okay, you were right. So x is 6.5. Oh. And then plug it in. UT was 3 times 6.5. Yeah. Plus 9. Or 7 times 6.5.
28.5.
You should get 28.5 either way. 28.5 should be correct. Oops. Questions? Questions on any of those number 10s? We're good with those steps. We're good with the computation. Maybe you might get that on the test. I might say, you might get a decimal answer. You never know. What's it? Okay. All right. 11's going to be a different type of problem. Yeah, you might need extra paper for that one. I don't think I gave you all enough space, or you might have to write on the bottom, write your work on the bottom. So, all right. Number 11. Yeah, you might. Yeah, I thought I would have enough space for you all, but I don't think I did well on that mission. All right, here's what we have going on. All right, I want to talk about the setup for this program. They add up to 180. So for 11A, what would be our setup? How do we set up 11A? Uh-huh. Bingo. That's a good job. That's your setup. You will get a test question like this. Now, what do you have to do? Add up your x's. Go ahead. Somebody had a question.
How do you get this set up?
4x plus 14. So you're going to take each of your expressions. So this is the bottom one.
Oh.
You're going to take the 4x plus 14 plus the 5x plus 4 plus the 6x minus 3.
Does it matter?
No. You could have it 6x minus 3 plus 5x plus 4 plus 4x plus 14. But it adds up to 180. We're not going to set anything equal to each other. Well, let's find out. Slow down. Now, before we get there, what are we doing with our x's again? Well, do we have any parentheses? No. Just combine. So I have a 4x, a 5x, and a 6x. How many x's are there in total? What's 4 plus 5 plus 6? And then similarly, we're going to combine the 14, the 4, and the minus 3. So you need to combine your like terms, the CLT. Combine like terms. So how many x's do we have in total again? 15x. What about these numbers? 14 plus 4 minus 3. Is that a plus 15? So if we have 15x plus 15 equals, bring down that 180. All right, now, how do we solve for x? It's actually going to be much easier than you think. Minus 15. So minus 15. Minus 15. So then you get, so bring that to 15x. Equals, what's 180 minus 15?
151.
Good. And then we do what? Exactly, milady. Good. So then our x would equal what number? X is 11. Leave that up for the moment. Now, what do we have to do? We have to do in all three cases. Plug them in. So for angle A, 4 times 11 4 times 11 plus 14. What did we say it was?
58.
58. Okay. I thought you said that, Richard, and yes, you were right. And I know you said that too, Grace. You were right too. So thank you both. Yeah, the second one's going to be 59 because that is 5 times 11 plus 4. So it's 55 plus 4. I mean, 55 plus 4, yeah, 59.
Well, it's minus 60.
Exactly. Very good, Grace. Because it'll be 6 times 11 minus 3. Questions on this one? All right. Now, the one on the other side of this problem, I'm going to show you a very easy way to do that problem. Okay. Any other questions on 11A? Any other questions on 11A? Now, 11B, I realized after I make this question, all three angles are going to be the same because what do we know about all three sides? They're all congruent. So all three angles must also be congruent. Now, here's how you're going to make your life very easy. If all three angles are congruent, they all have to have the same measurement, right? So they add up to 180, but what's 180 divided by 3? 60. So each angle has to be 60. So yeah, this one, it turns out, now you're not going to get this one, but I realized after a while, I was like, wait a minute.
3 angles are going to be the same measurement, so it means that
You can just,
8y plus 4 is going to be like the same with 3 angles.
well, yeah, but there's only one number. It can only be 60.
You did the problem at
Yeah, that's one.
364.
Wait, what do you mean?
I did the problem that I put in for the angle.
Okay, well, 8y plus 4, the grand total will be 60 for a single angle. I mean, if you did it 3 times, then it would have been.
Yeah, I did it like that, and it was like.
All right, what did we do real quick?
So I multiply a times, added a times a, so it gives me 24y. Then I plus 4 times 4 times 1, give me 12. Then I subtract 12 to 180. Then I divide.
Okay, I mean, you will get the same result.
No,
You should.
you got like a whole.
You will still get the same result. I'm telling you that right now. The y value will be the same. It's how much? How did you do it? Which way did you pick? Well, okay. But either one, you will get y equals 7. This will actually be the same at the very end. So 8y plus 4 equals 60, 24y plus 12 is 180. You will still get 7 for a final answer. Because even if you did it this way, 24y equals 168. Divide 168 by 24. But remember, each angle has to be 180. But the only way that happens, if all 3 sides are the same, all 3 angles have to be the same. So the only number that could work is 60. Now, could you have done it the long way? Yeah, you could have done it this way. You're going to get the same answer either way you do it. So it would not matter how you do it in the end. Now, worry more about 11A. Yeah, 11A is easy. 11B wasn't that bad. But even if you did it the long way, as you did it this way, you're still going to get this answer here. What's that? Yeah. So in the way, either way, it will work. So you could have done it either way. I'd rather sometimes if you do it take the extra minute. If you get it right, what's worse? Losing an extra minute on a test today or losing more time, either corrections or a retake? You got that right. There you go. Somebody's reading my mind. Cool. All right. So, yep, 11B, you could have done it either way. More than likely, you're going to get questions similar to 11A. All right. Problem 12, skip. This one, you're going to skip it. We're not going to, huh? No, you're not going to get this one on the test. This one, okay, the only thing I'm going to say, in fact, you could even cross this one out. No, you can cross this one out. This is my fault. I forgot to cross it out. 12C is a cross out too. Sorry. Put an X. Now, the only thing I will say with this one, you would have had to do another 2x plus 3 over here. Because these two angles were congruent.
Look at it.
But yeah, but then you're back to what you were doing before. But you're not, yeah, I apologize. I forgot to tell you, I'll cross that one out too.
So
Yeah, any problem 12, all the problem 12s. I mean, if you want to try 12C, here's what I'll do. If you want to try it, be my guest.
and that one has to be out of 180 or
Yep, you're,
Can you go back to the
Hold on. If I have time, I'll go back to it. Yeah, you could do it this way, but if you want to try it, but like if you didn't do it when I check your study guide, I'm not gonna penalize you. All right? So that could be your setup, but this setup is just like problem 11. And the only difference was you weren't given this angle, but the two bottom angles were the same, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. This is sort of like what we did with problems 11. The sum of the three angles add up to 180. That's the difference. Okay? So here, sum is 180. Here, basically, this one was sort of the same. The only difference was all three angles were 8y plus 4, which really, I'm gonna just write this little step for, that's in case anybody's wondering, how do we get the 24y plus 12? That's how you get that. You multiply 3 times 8y, 3 times 4. Or you could have just said, hey, the only way this works is if my single angle is 60 degrees, and then just work backwards. That's the other way you can set up that problem. All right. 21. You're there and back because it is within the 2020 rule, but here we go. Opposite angles are congruent, sides are congruent. Here's our congruent sides. So if these are our congruent sides, what do we know about these two angles? They must be congruent. So what's our setup? What's our setup?
15x minus 31 equals 9x plus 12.
That's our setup. So let's get the setup first because okay, there's our setup. All right, give you all a couple minutes to try this one. And then if you want, you were right on that one. Okay? There's our setup. That's perfect. We're going to talk about, okay. We're going to talk about those momentarily. This, what's 4 plus 1? 4. Good. Remember, this is not a race, ladies and gentlemen. So actually, 13 and 14. To solve x is the same setup. You want me to check your work, see how you did, let me know. Okay, that's good. Okay, once you try to self-correct for that, we're going to talk about those angles in a minute. It's a different problem. It's a different part of a problem.
Is correcting
Yes and yes. Okay. I want you just suffer X for this one for a moment. Okay. We're going to talk about the angles in a moment. Don't fill in the angle boxes yet. All right. It's something totally different. So, if you are doing number 14, don't fill in the angle boxes yet. Don't solve for the angles yet. Okay. Let's
Wait, it's X.
So what's starting one? What's starting one?
Oopsies.
That's going to change your whole answer, and then you should be in a very good spot.
It's X.
Yes,
That was easy because you didn't really have to divide.
that's true. Okay, don't worry about the angle part yet. She's talking about the bottom. She got the front. So she's talking about that bottom problem there. Okay, you fixed it, good. Yeah, don't even, we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, where is that extra page? Did you type that extra page? Yesterday? Yeah, check it for, I gave it up for the studio yesterday.
Oh God, it's 9.
Okay, don't fill these out yet. No, it's a single piece of paper. It's that. I want to attach that to your study guide. This is going to go here. We're going to talk about this over the last few minutes. Here we go. All right.
And he came for summer school. He didn't.
Okay, you got that one right, Grace, the top one. Okay, here's what I've seen. What did we get for X? For number 13, you got 7. And then the angle T, 9 times 7 plus 11. So remember, plug in that 7 because angle T was at 9x plus 11. What did we get for the measurement of angle T? How many degrees? Everybody wrote it down. I should hear everybody say this answer. Angle T was how many degrees?
74.
74. Okay, we're still on 13. All right. Anybody have any questions on how we got the X? Because I think you all got that X perfect to where I'm not going to talk about it. So if you're not sure, you can do the check. 14. I'll talk about this part in a second. This part. What did we get for X? We got a 5. So this is 14. We got 5. Set these two sides equal to each other. Their angles, since those angles are congruent, these sides must be congruent. So 2x minus 1 equals x plus 4. All right, the length. All right, did I ask for a length for these guys? No. I mean, if you wanted to give me the length, okay. WV or WY, that will equal 9. I'm okay with that. However, What do we ask? What am I asking for here?
Y
What type of y and w?
angle.
Angles. That's not the side length. Those are angles. All right, here's how we're going to answer this. Angle V was how many degrees? 55. What's the relationship between angle V and angle Y? Same, so angle Y must also be 55. Since these sides are the same, those opposite angles will also be the same.
So angle W is gonna be 70.
How did we get 70?
55, 55 is 180.
Very good.
180 minus 55, right?
180 minus both of the 55s. Yes. That's how you do that. All right. That's how we do that. So that's going to be 70.
Mr. Connors,
Uh-huh.
can I leave at 2:50 to go get my big jacket from the assessor's office?
Let me see. Hold on, because I just really want to talk about those last couple slides. I know we started talking about them yesterday. All right. So this one was a bit different. I wanted angles. Now, on the test, will I be asking for a side? Yeah, I could. But watch what I'm asking. And I see a lot of mistakes happening. All right. Real quick, I know we started talking about this last time. Okay. You're going to get a couple questions like this on your test. I'm telling you that right now. We classify either by the sides. Again, all three sides are equal. Equilateral. Isosceles, two equal sides. Scalene, no equal sides. Or we're going to do it by angle. Either acute angle, all three angles are less than 90. Right angle has exactly one 90-degree angle. Obtuse, greater than 90-degree angle. So now, on the first slide here, then another thing, think about it, scalene, no sides, put a 0. Two sides, isosceles. Or three sides equilateral. Now, we talked about these two yesterday. Two of those sides had 2 inches, so that was isosceles. This one had no congruent sides, that's why it was a scalene. What will be in both, for this one and this one? They're both going to be equilaterals. Why equilateral for the top?
Because they're both
Equilateral,
they're
yep.
all congruent.
So both the top and the bottom are going to be equilateral. They're both equilateral because all 4 of these have a 4. And even though all 3 have exactly one hash mark, slash mark. And real quick, what about this one over here? Are my sides congruent? That's a scalene on the top.
And the bottoms are isosceles.
Scalene. The top, and this one on the bottom right's going to be isosceles. Why isosceles?
2 sides are the same.
2 sides. Good. And then 2 sides congruent. All right. Questions on isosceles scalene or equilateral triangles? Okay. On the very back. Now, we did one like this already yesterday.
Hornets, this is just a reminder that girls soccer interest meet is coming this Thursday, November
Now-
17th at 3 o'clock in the cafeteria. If you are interested in joining our amazing girls soccer team, please join us in the cafeteria this Thursday, November 17th at 3 p.m. Thank you and make it a great one, Hornets.
All right. Last thing. Right angle 90. Acute, all are under 90. Obtuse, greater than 90. So we did this one yesterday. All less than 90. We're going to just talk about it real quick on the back, the very last one. This one. Do I see any angle either? Okay, so we have an angle that's greater than 90. So which one? Which name are we using?
The right.
Obtuse. This first one's going to be obtuse over here. That one's obtuse. This 116 is greater than 90. Okay, what about the middle one? Why is it acute? Well, that don't mean anything. Be careful. What do we see about all three of those numbers? Huh? Well, but why? Well, that's not going to cut it. Because that to me, if you didn't see that 60 there, that looked like a right angle. But they're all under 90. All less than 90. And then the last one is a right triangle. You have a 90-degree angle. So that one is a right angle. All right. So, more or less, you should be good to go for your test. You should have this.